Cy Young Award winner Tim Lincecum goes up against Dodgers Cy Young candidate Clayton Kershaw. The Dodgers lefty is 17-5 and leads the league in strikeouts, while Lincecum is once again amongst the leaders in almost every important category. Pitchers duel next. Fans arriving at 24 Willie Mays Plaza. The historic rivalry renewed. It's the Giants and the Dodgers, the first of a three-game series. Hello, everyone. I'm John Miller with Mike KRUKOW. Dwayne Kuiper will be along a bit later. The Giants and the Dodgers, a great matchup. Tim Lincecum for the Giants, two-time Cy Young Award winner. Clayton Kershaw, a top candidate for the award this year. And the Giants will try and do something they haven't done this year, which is beat Kershaw.
Well, he's been perfect against the Giants this year, 3-0, and two of those wins have come at the expense of Tim Lincecum. So you're having two guys that really have some of the best stuff in all of baseball, two guys that can outstuff a hitter in 4 at-bats. Not many can say that. So it should be all about pitching, and hopefully Tim Lincecum can get back in the win column here against Clayton Kershaw.
So Lincecum and Kershaw, that's the matchup. The Giants 7.5 back of Arizona. We'll keep an eye on that ball game. And tonight also the presentation of the coveted Willie Mack Award, named for the man himself, Stretch Willie McCovey. Mike KRUKOW will be emceeing the ceremonies when we come back. internet, and voice services that work together so you can enjoy everything you love anytime, anywhere, and any way you want. Here's the view from 24 Willie Mays Plaza, AT&T Park. Tonight, the Giants are giving out the prestigious Willie Mack Award, established in 1980, given to the Giants player who best exemplifies the spirit and leadership consistently shown by the Giants' great Hall of Famer, Willie McCovey. Mike KRUKOW has won the award a couple of times in his career, and he is down on the field. There's McCovey Point across McCovey Cove for the ballpark, and the statue of the great man himself. For the ceremonies, let's go to the voice of AT&T Park. Here's Rennell.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the home plate area as the 1985 and 1986 Willie Mack Award winner Mike KRUKOW presents this year's Willie Mack Award. Mike?
Thank you, Rennell. It is an honor to be here tonight for this special ceremony, which is such an important part of this organization. This award recognizes its honoree for both his individual achievement, his embodiment of the competitive spirit, and his leadership abilities on and off the field. I cannot believe that this will mark the 31st year of the award, and we have many of the past winners here with us tonight to celebrate this anniversary. The Willie Mack Award is the only team award named after a former Giant, and is given each year to someone who best exemplifies the inspiration, character, and leadership that number 44 demonstrated during his playing days here in San Francisco. The Willie Mack Award is the most special award a Giant can receive because it's voted on by Giants teammates, coaches, and trainers. You fans are now a part of this vote, and of course, the great Willie McCovey himself. Therefore, I'd like to introduce some of our past winners. The 1996 winner and current Giants rolling infield instructor, two-time All-Star shortstop, Sean Dunston. The 1997 and 2004 winner. He is currently a part-time broadcaster as well as a roving minor league and field instructor. He was a six-time Gold Glove winner, first baseman, J.T. Snow. The 2001 co-winner along with Benito Santiago, currently the Giants bullpen coach, Mark Gardner. The 2009 winner. He currently leads the National League in most quality starts and is putting up his best season yet in his great career. Right-handed pitcher, Matt Cain. And last year's winner, who always puts his heart and soul into everything he does on and off the field, outfielder Andres Torres. At this time, I would like to introduce a man who wore his uniform with pride and passion and gave fans numerous reasons to cheer on the orange and the black. He hit 521 home runs during his illustrious career, which until Barry Bonds came along was the most ever hit by a left-handed batter in the National League in its history. He hit 320 with 45 home runs and 126 RBIs in 1969 when he won the National League's MVP award. He holds the record for most home runs hit in the history of Candlestick Park with 231. In 2000, when AT&T Park first opened, he saw the first home run splash down into the water that now holds his namesake, McCovey Cove. And in 2004, to commemorate his great achievement, a statue in his likeness was unveiled to honor him. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one of the greatest Giants of all time. He is a member of baseball's Hall of Fame, number 44, the great Willie McCovey. get to this year's Willie Mack Award recipient. To present the award, here's the man himself, Willie McCovey.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great honor to introduce this year's winner of the Willie Mack Award, Ryan Vogelsong.
Has exemplified the spirit and attitude that all Willie Mack Award winners have done in the past. Ryan's career came full circle this season when he signed back with the Giants, his past winner, the team that originally drafted him when he was a 21-year-old kid. Ryan has been through so much throughout his career, as he has pitched for 4 different major league organizations, even playing in Japan for 4 seasons. His accomplishments this year show what anyone can do if they don't give up, as he was named to the 2011 National League All-Star team. His 2.62 ERA is the 6th lowest figure in the National League, and he entered the 2011 season with 10 career Major League wins, and he's already won 10 this season. He has put up career-high numbers in complete games, innings pitched, and in strikeouts. It is also important to note, just as he was as a 23-year-old rookie, he has not changed as a 34-year-old veteran in his commitment to supporting Giants community programs and initiatives, as well as many other field endeavors that signify his appreciation of Giants fans. He has been one of the most consistent starters on the Giants staff this year. He is the epitome of never giving up. He could have hung up his cleats many times in his career, but he kept pressing on because he does not know how to quit. His perseverance is an incredible story to Major League players, as well as those little leaguers out there who want to make it in the big leagues. Truly, an athlete and a person to look up. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2011 Willie Mack Award winner, Ryan Vogelsong.
Man, just when I think things are going to slow down a little bit, they just keep getting better. This is amazing. I want to thank, I know the fans got a chance to vote this year. I want to thank you guys for placing your vote for me. The biggest thing about this award, I think, if you ask any player what's most important to them other than the fans, it's how you're perceived by your teammates. And the fact that my teammates voted this award for me means so much to me. The fact that I can help inspire them to make them better, and the fact that I can help inspire all of you and to get through some tough times means a lot to me. I just want to thank Willie. I just hope that the things that I did for our team this year almost were like him. I don't think there's going to ever be another Willie McCovey. He was a great player. What he did on and off the field was amazing. And thanks again, Willie. I appreciate it. And just keep going. If there's anything about this season that I got for myself personally to pass on is, you know, when I started this journey this year, it was all about just becoming a better baseball player, trying to get back to the big leagues and being the best Giant I could. And along the way, this inspirational story has come about. So hopefully my story can inspire some people and help get you through some things that you need to get through. So once again, thanks guys over there. I actually played with 3 of these guys back here, so I've been around for a while. And thanks guys, I appreciate it. I thank my wife and my son, and thanks to the fans again. Thank you.
One more time, Ryan Vogelsong.
Ryan Vogelsong, the winner of this year's Willie Mack Award. Vogelsong, who had not played in the big leagues in 5 years, resurrected his career this year in a big way. We'll be back. Cove, the night the Willie Mack Award has been presented to Ryan Vogelsong. Here's the Dodgers batting order. D. Gordon, the rookie shortstop, leads off. James Loney at first. Matt Kemp having a big year, MVP type season. Center field, Juan Rivera in right. Aaron Miles at third. Jerry Sands, a rookie, in left. Rod Barajas, the catcher. Justin Sellers, a rookie, at second. And Clayton Kershaw, Cy Young candidate, on the mound against Tim Lincecum, who is trying to rebound after a couple of down starts where he got knocked around a little bit. So here we go. D. Gordon leads off, and a fastball is in there for a called strike. Gordon, a speedy infielder. 65 degrees, the official game time temperature. And that is in there. Strike two call. Lincecum's ability to command that fastball, to get it to go where he wants it to go, has been lacking the last two starts, and that has been the root of his problem. Change up, broken bat. Keppinger throws him out. One away.
Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Lincecum tonight. For the Giants, starting out left field from left to right, it'll be Ross, Christian, and Beltran. Cabrera, Sandoval on the left side of the infield, Keppinger and Pill on the right side, and Chris Stewart will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So Tim Lincecum, who himself, if you look straight across the board, accepted the wins and losses, looked like a strong Cy Young candidate himself. But the last two starts has kind of derailed that. James Loney, who has been hot since the month of August began, but he has retired just into foul ground. Cody Ross out number 2.
All right, what do you say we take a look at our Roundtable key ingredients? The key ingredients for this game are brought to you by Roundtable. Fresh from the market, right to your table. Roundtable is introducing their new Farmers Market pepperoni pizza, just $15 for a large one. Number 1, Linscom's fastball command always a key. Number 2, get pitches out of Kershaw, make him work, no quick outs. And number 3, Pill, stay hot. Simple equation. Those are our Roundtable key ingredients.
Pill has done something that's only been done 22 times in the history of the game, which is to homer in each of his first 2 big league games. Tonight, game 3 for Pill. Matt Kemp, and he's having a big year. First ball swinging in right field. Beltran over toward right center, and just like that, the inning is over. A 5-pitch inning for Tim Lincecum. Now the Giants are coming up. Take a look at the Giants batting order now, brought to you by Dodge, never neutral. Justin Christian makes his San Francisco Giants debut. Center field. He grew up in San Mateo. Jeff Keppinger at second. Carlos Beltran in right. Pablo Sandoval hits cleanup at third. Brett Pill makes his San Francisco Giants debut. A homer in each of his first 2 big league games, Tuesday and Wednesday in San Diego. Cody Ross in left. Cabrera at short. Stewart the catcher hitting 8th. And Lincecum the pitcher, all up against the young and extremely talented left-hander, 23-year-old Clayton Kershaw.
And there you take a look at the body of work in 29 starts, 17-5, 2.45 ERA. Look at the strikeouts.
0-1 to Christian.
And with Kershaw, you're going to see that high 3/4 release and 92 to 96 mile an hour fastball. He will two-seam, he will four-seam. Big curveball, slider, and a changeup.
That one is out of play, off to the right, and it's 0-2. The umpiring alignment for tonight's game. John Hirschbeck behind the plate. Scott Barry, first base. Vic Carapazza at second, and Las Diaz is at third base. Hirschbeck is the crew chief.
And with Hirschbeck, it's a pretty wide zone, and he will call a higher strike than you're normally used to.
And the hard slider off the inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kershaw is extremely tough against the Giants. He's 4-1 lifetime against the Giants with 1 shutout. Very high. 2-2. He is 3-0 with a 1.35 ERA against the Giants this year. A 1.41 career earned run average against the Giants. With a hold at short, Gordon, a long throw. Off the bag, safe. Christian, who's a very fast runner. If they score that an error, I think, as they say in tennis, that is a forced error.
Now, good call. He does put pressure on our defense, and let's take a look at that defense for the Dodgers behind Kershaw. Starting out in that outfield from left to right, it's going to be Sands, Kemp, and Rivera, the best arm in center field with Kemp. Gordon and Miles on the left side of the infield. Sellers and Loney on the right side. And Rob Barajas, the veteran, will be in the squad putting down the signs. That point you make about putting pressure on the defense. I mean, Gordon knew he had to hurry, and the hurry caused the high throw. Should be a hit.
So here's Keppinger, and that's called strike, 95 miles an hour on the inside. Looks like the official score will call that an error. Even if with an error, I'd like to see a guy get credit on his on-base percentage. Not everybody beats out that play. Plenty of runners. The guy could take his time, set himself for the accurate, strong throw. There goes Christian. That's in the left center field. Matt Kemp. And Christian, who is at second, has to turn around and go back.
Well, I think the fact that there wasn't any hits in the game is why it was called an error. If it would have been, if there had been 5 hits already off Kershaw, I don't think there'd been any doubt that would have been a hit. But it was kind of one of those coin toss calls that an official score will have to make. But I think the fact that there hasn't been a clean first hit is why they ruled it an error. And I could see why he said that. If it is an accurate throw, he would be out. But the fact that he put the pressure on the play, they should be awarded for that.
So here is Carlos Beltran. 12 hits in his last 19 at-bats, plus a couple of walks. The big jump. Barajas, a very bad throw, which he hurried. He really did not have a grip on the ball. And I don't think it would have mattered anyway. Christian got a huge jump going on first motion to steal the bag.
Now, what do you say we make it our Ford right choice? Brought to you by Ford, the right choice for California. See your California Ford dealer or visit your CaliforniaFord.com today. And Barajas trying to hurry, knowing he had to, because Christian had a big jump. And I don't think he ever had a good grip on the ball. That wasn't even close.
So now, runner in scoring position for Beltran. Hitting .298, 17 homers, 76 batted in. Off the outside. So it's 2-0. That's the first steal as a Giant for Christian, who had 54 steals in 59 tries in the minor leagues this year. And it's down and away, ball 3. Pablo Sandoval is on deck. Christian got into 24 games with the Yankees back in 2008 and stole 7 bases in 8 tries that year. 3-0 the count. There is Christian. Kershaw does not seem like he's intended to pitch to Beltran as the ball is popped up foul. Christian took off on that 3-0 pitch, and Beltran swung away on the 3-0 pitch as well, fouling it back.
Well, good pitch to hit. With the first base open and as hot as Beltran has been, the whole league knows he's been on fire. And I'm a little surprised, really, that Kershaw did take on the challenge with that fastball on the 3-0 count.
Thought maybe throw him one half a foot outside and start over with a fresh count against Pablo batting right-handed. 3-1 now. And he does walk him.
Let's take a look at that. Toyota by the numbers. Toyota is the most fuel-efficient full-line auto manufacturer, period. And most strikeouts per 9 innings in the National League this season. Zach Greinke with 10.5 strikeouts per 9. Right behind him is Clayton Kershaw, Tim Lincecum. You average over a strikeout an inning, you got great stuff. And the guys in tonight's ballgame, Lincecum and Kershaw, have great stuff.
So the Giants have 2 men on, and here is Sandoval. But Pablo, remember, has had some shoulder problems and has not been swinging the bat that well right-handed lately. 296 overall, 18 home runs. 2 men on, 1 man out. Looking Christian back to second. Christian 3 different times has had a huge jump against Kershaw in this inning. A couple of times the ball was fouled away. And the other time he actually stole second. Base hit to left field. Sands cut off. 1-0 Giants. Wow. Sands showing off that speed, which is considerable.
I think it's that speed of Christian that really enabled Tim Flannery to take a bit of a gamble here. And I'm a little surprised that Aaron Miles, the third baseman for the Dodgers, cuts this one off. And Tim Flannery reading, and then he gives the green light, and he's going to run all the way down the sideline with you. And Jason Christian, an easy score.
And I like that slide, a hook slide, the old fadeaway a la Willie McCovey himself, who was a great base runner and an outstanding slider. So here's Brett Pill, the rookie, his third big league game. Oh, look out. That one got Tim Flannery.
He's hard to get. He broke out a pair of shoes he says are his lucky shoes, 1977. Look out, Flan, man.
Oh, ow.
He gets in position there so that he can really coach the runner from second, but he's in peril, in perilous area there. I always worry about the guy. I'm glad they got helmets on.
The big curveball, too low. A ball on the strike to Pill. Pill in his first 2 games in the big leagues, 3 hits, 7 at bats, including 2 home runs. He had 25 homers, 107 RBIs with Fresno this year, and a .312 average. Beltran at second, Sandoval at first. In the dirt. Off-speed delivery, 2-1.
Steve Decker, who was the manager at Fresno this year, has had Brett Pill at every level, all the way from rookie league through AAA. And he says there's no question he can hit up here. For him, it's all about strike zone definition and awareness. If he can stay in the strike zone, good pitches to hit. I mean, you can say about everybody, but with this guy, it's very important. He doesn't strike out a lot. He'll put the ball in play.
High and tight and a pop-up foul that will go back out of play. Looking fastball. He got the fastball. 94 miles an hour, but up and in, and then they got out of the strike zone. 2-2.
Kershaw, big guy there. You see the score out of Arizona. The Padres on top of the Diamondbacks, 1-0 in the fourth.
It's Daniel Hudson, 15-game winner, going for Arizona, their second ace, along with Ian Kennedy, who won his 19th last year. Matt Latos going for the Padres. 2-2. 2 men on. Struck him out. Changed up on him. And that is out number 2.
We always talk about Tim Lincecum having 4 pitches that he can strike you out with, and you can say the same thing about Kershaw. Just puts it in, and having the confidence at 2-2 to go out of the strike zone to have a guy chase. A lot of guys 2-2 will bite up a little more strike zone because they don't want to go to a 3-2 count. This guy's not afraid to get to that 3-2 count.
So now Cody Ross. Ross 3 for 14 versus Kershaw. Nice block there by Barajas. A ball that bounced out in front of home plate. Might have even hit off the front edge of home plate. 1-0. The Giants are on top. That's a ball in the dirt that you're lucky if you're a catcher and you can keep it in front of him. Barajas does a nice job to use his chest, but those don't feel good when they bounce out that far in front of home plate. I mean, that was way out in front of home plate. Cody Ross started to hit in the last few days. He has 12 homers, 47 driven in. Beltran at second, Sandoval at first, 2 down.
Ooh, that was close to a balk.
Like as he stepped off the slab, he forgot what he wanted to do there.
As long as you move that left foot first, you're all right. Bit of a stumble there. Left foot first if you're a left-hander.
Ball and a strike.
And a slider. And that's become a good pitch. I mean, when he first came up, he was like Lincecum, like CAIN, where they had a good fastball and a big curveball. But he, like Lincecum and CAIN, they developed a slider. He's got a good changeup. More weapons. And it's reflected in the strikeout total.
Both runners ready to run at the crack of the bat with 2 down. In front of the plate again. Knocked down by Barajas again.
Well, Rod Barajas is not going to have to back up to the pay window this week. He's earning his paycheck right now. Only
Ian Kennedy of the Diamondbacks with more wins than Kershaw in the National League. Got the second best earned run average, second best, in fact, second highest inning total, leads the league in strikeouts, and he's awfully tough to hit. Just seems to be getting better and better. Clayton Kershaw. Fastball back to the screen. Had a pretty good cut on that one.
You know, the one thing about Cody Ross the last few weeks, he's really been able to keep his weight on that back foot a whole lot better. So his timing to the pitches has really improved. And I just think that he's seeing the ball better. The other thing, too, is you're not seeing him hop back off that inside pitch that at times even gets called a strike. He's staying much more solid in his setup, much more balanced. That head's not moving a lot.
Curveball, and that's a little bit high, maybe a little bit off the outside. Full count now, 3-2.
It's one of those first inning curveballs you throw too hard to kind of throw it through the break.
Cabrera on deck would be next. Beltran from second, Sandoval from first, ready to go. They run, and he just got a piece of that one, a foul tip.
Saw the pitch count at 24 from Kershaw. That was one of the keys. Dodgers really had to use a lot of their bullpen yesterday. Their bullpen had to throw 6 in the third innings in Washington. So I know this is September. You got a lot of call-ups, but a lot of their good arms, their experienced arms, had to eat up innings yesterday. So the quicker the Giants get in that bullpen, the better off they're going to be.
Beltran and Sandoval. There they go. The bloop. D. Gordon. Oh, what a play! He made a leap for it as it was getting over his head. That robs the Giants of a run. 1-0 Giants after 1. Inning. Tim Lincecum, a 5-pitch first inning, and then he sat in the dugout for a long while as the Giants got men on base. They scored a run, and Clayton Kershaw had a high stress inning, 25 pitches on his end of it before Lincecum gets back out there again. The cleanup hitter, Juan Rivera, comes up, followed by Aaron Miles, and then Jerry Sands. And that's ball 1. Rivera, 292 since becoming a Dodger, 154 at bats with 3 home runs, 32 batted in. He's done well for them. Hit 243 over in the American League this year. And it's 2-0. Dodgers have won 13 of their last 16 games. They've really come on strong late in the season. And that's back out of play.
Let's take a look at our Giants defensive coverage. It's brought to you by Verizon Wireless, the fastest 4G network in America. And D. Gordon, the son of Tom Gordon, ex big league pitcher, shows you why he could be called Flash Jr. Coming up with a high over the backhander. That's a good play. Cody Ross not excited about that.
So it's 3-1 now to Rivera. That cost the Giants a run. Beltran from second was running with that 3-2 pitch and would have easily scored had it fallen in. Gordon ended up making an error, though, or started the inning making an error that cost the Dodgers an unearned run in that same inning. So maybe he felt like he owed him one. Ball 4 to Rivera. Now, the Giants have been sold out all season long, and for next year there are now less than 850 new season ticket locations remaining. So it's time to act before this limited number of seats is sold out. The plan will also offer rights to any possible postseason games this year. Call 415-972-2298 right now to speak to a Giants representative. That's 415-972-2298. You can also visit sfgiants.com/season. Ball 1 to Aaron Miles.
Good fastball hitter.
281 average. Never had a hit against Lincecum in 9 career at bats. Time taken out. Rivera seemed to be having a little trouble over at first base. Brett Pill on the bag with him. Dodgers in the Western Division are only 4.5 back of the Giants now. That is a called strike. Back in July, late July, the Giants were 13.5 ahead of the Dodgers. The Dodgers were dead last in the division. So they have come on strong here in the last 2.5 weeks or so, while the Giants have been fading big time. Back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's the area that you got to be careful with Miles. I mean, he's a good fastball hitter, but a good high ball hitter too. You can neutralize him with stuff down around the knees, and he will chase below the zone.
Diamondbacks, after another win last night, 7.5 ahead of the Giants. 18 to play for Arizona, 19 for the Giants. Ooh, very close. 2-2. That had some movement coming back to the plate.
See movement with a 2-seam grip on the fastball. Starts off the inside corner and comes back to the strike zone. Just a wee bit inside. Remember, Hirschbeck can have a wide zone. He will give you corners.
Rivera at first. Up the middle. Caught by the diving Cabrera, who then throws to first, not in time to double up Rivera.
Nice play. We'll make it our Lincoln Smart move. It's not just luxury, it's smarter than that. Feel smarter at Lincoln.com. Let's watch Cabrera as he spears what would have been probably a 1st and 3rd situation. And very quickly gets up and thinks he wants a little more. Gonna have a good game. You gotta have a couple Adam balls, and that was one of them right there. That'll fire a pitcher up.
Ball 1 to the rookie, Jerry Sands. Sands, who is a top prospect in the Dodgers farm system, and he was doing well in the minors. And they were kind of vacillating as to whether they should bring him up or just keep him down there. And finally they said, well, we haven't had any production out of left field all year. Let's bring him up. And that high breaking ball misses. 2-0 the count to Sands. But Sands ended up not being the answer either. He struggled big time in his first go around in the big leagues. Back down in September. He's had 128 big league at bats with a 195 average. That's in there for a strike. Sands, 23 years old. This is his 4th year in professional baseball.
Yeah, he's got good power. I mean, there's no doubt this guy's going to play in the big leagues a long time. It's just a matter of being able to acclimate to the speed up here.
Change up too low.
Sands kind of their version of Brandon Belt. You know it's all there. It's just a matter of when they can get to that level of speed and control their game up here.
3-1 the count to Sands. Barajas on deck.
Ooh.
3-2. Ooh, as in, wow, it's lucky he didn't hit that one 400 feet.
460. 3-1 challenge out of the play at the belt. That's where the big guys like to have it.
And that'll be out of play off to the right. Still 3-2 to Jerry Sands. Barajas on deck.
Lincecum struggling with his fastball command. I mean, he knows he can't walk him, so he's just trying to throw a strike. And when you get into that mode, I mean, you can't think corners or knee-high corners. If you throw a corner right now, it's kind of lucky. He doesn't have that feel of that pitch right now.
And he walks him.
We've seen Lincecum do this, where he will struggle with his fastball command, but at times it doesn't affect his specialty pitches. The curveball, the slider, the split, he can still get you out with those. And at times he'll have a better ratio of getting those over the plate than the fastball. And it all has to do with timing. When he's not able to command his fastball, he's flying out that front shoulder, and he's too quick with his front side.
2 men on for the Dodgers, and here is the veteran catcher, Rod Barajas. Strike one. Barajas has 15 home runs this year in only 271 at bats, so he's got a lot of power, but hitting only 236, and Lincecum has done well against him. Barajas 1 hit in 10 career at bats. 2 walks in the inning. Lincecum struggling here in the second. On the outside, strike 2.
And that's that high strike you're going to get with Hirschbeck.
Padres continued to lead Arizona 1-0 going to the last of the 5th in Phoenix. Meanwhile, the block by Stewart keeping the runners right there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lincecum with only a 12-12 1-loss record, and yet even with his previous 2 starts getting really rung up a lot, his earned run average for the season is 7th best in the league, 2.75. High in the air, the infield fly rule, I think. Yep, it's in effect. You see the umpire, Barry, give the signal as Hill makes the catch anyway. As soon as the infield fly was called, Barajas, the hitter, was out, whether they caught it or not. So 2 down. And now the rookie, Justin Sellers, will come up. Sellers, rather slight of build, 83 big league at bats, a 229 average. Sellers is from Southern California. And that one is too high. Went to Cal State Fullerton. And he's been with some different organizations. He signed originally with Oakland, been with the Cubs, but finally makes it to the big leagues as a Dodger. And he's got the count in his favor. 2-0. Lincecum has missed badly with a couple of breaking balls here. Two 2 on, 2 out. Is hit in the air to left. Warning track power. Cody Ross. 2 men stranded. 24 pitch inning for Lincecum. 1-0 Giants. The Giants with 3 teams to make the minor leagues postseason, including the Sally League Augusta Green Jackets. Also, the San Jose Giants, the Giants' high Class A affiliate, the California League. They were 90-50 in the regular season. They've got a chance for their 3rd straight Cal League title. And in Double A, the Richmond Flying Squirrels. They are in the Eastern League. So good luck to all of them in the postseason. Xfinity Future Focus is brought to you by Xfinity TV, Internet, and Voice reinvented. Cabrera, a ball off the inside from Kershaw. Kershaw threw 25 pitches in the first inning. That was one of your keys to the game for the Giants. Make him work.
Make him work.
On the inside for a strike that time.
You know, the problem is you get a guy like Kershaw who's leading the National League in strikeouts, and guys don't want to get deep in the count against him because they feel you get into a 2-strike hole with him, good luck. And because of that, they try to beat him early in the count. And oftentimes with a strikeout pitcher like Kershaw, the best strike you're going to get is the one he challenges you with on that first strike. So, but bottom line is you have to make him work. You have to get him to throw some pitches. It's just the way the game is played today, especially when you have a chewed up bullpen, which is what the Dodgers have.
Curveball for the strikeout. So Cabrera started toward first, and then Barajas picked up the ball right in front of Cabrera. Finally, Cabrera said, "All right, I concede. You got me.
We're good."
That is the 224th strikeout this year for Kershaw in 207 innings. There's the Hornblower hybrid into McCovey Cove, Bay Cruiser, and I believe that's like the old experimental sailing vessel of Jacques Cousteau and his family.
Calypso.
Those special sails can capture the wind and keep the batteries charged, and also to
their sails? I thought they were disco lights.
Oh, come on. It's a hybrid. Or maybe they keep the disco lights charged. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I'm just making all that up. They said hybrid, so I figured it's the bay cruising version of the Prius. Strike 3. Stewart is gone. 3 strikeouts for Kershaw. There's a little movement on that vessel right now.
From Alcatraz. They got a couple guards out there. There's a limit as to how much fun you can have on that bad boy.
Here's Lincecum. 2 strikeouts in a row for Kershaw to start the inning, and a fastball for a strike. Giants ahead 1-0. They scored an unearned run in the first, an error. Justin Christian reaching on a throwing error by D. Gordon, and the Giants got him home on a single by Sandoval eventually. Game 2 of the series tomorrow night. That fastball is up and away. Ryan Vogelsong, who won the Willie Mack Award tonight, will go against the Dodgers' Dana Eveland. That's a 6:05 start. And then a Sunday afternoon game, Madison Bumgarner versus Hiroki Kuroda. 1:05 on Sunday. Kershaw gets it. And that's the inning. Giants are gone in order. We head to the 3rd. Kershaw coming up against Lincecum.
you're going to have to do it against the Padres Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And there are some dynamic deals going on for each game, some starting as low as $8. Monday, Tuesdays are night games. Wednesday at 12:45 day games. So go to sfgiants.com/dynamic deals and get your tickets. September baseball, every fan counts.
Here's Clayton Kershaw. Lincecum having to tie a shoelace. Now he's ready to go. Kershaw is hitting .246. He can hit. It's 0-1. Kershaw 16 hits in 65 at bats. All of his hits have been singles. Knocked in 4 runs. A ball and a strike. Dodgers and Giants opened the schedule in LA at the end of March. That's along the left field line. Foul. And he might have had his first extra base hit of the year had that one stayed fair.
Well, he kind of deked me because he left the batter's box, and when you see a guy going down the hitter has a great idea as to whether this can be fair or foul. And he was taken off down the first base line. I'm thinking, uh-oh, and it wasn't even close. Way foul.
Lincecum with his first strikeout. Giants baseball is brought to you by Carl's Jr. and the new hand-breaded chicken filet sandwich. Now at Carl's Jr. And that's just the way it is. And did they bring some of those over here tonight?
Well, we hope so. I want to get that, I want to get that, I want to get that.
Here's D. Gordon. Shows bunt, takes a called strike. Pablo Sandoval was almost in his face there by the time he took that pitch. Pablo playing very shallow at third to begin with. The big curveball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-0. The Giants leading. We're in the 3rd inning. D. Gordon, a .294 average in the big leagues. Well, he bunts at that one and missed it. The high fastball, 1-2. Up the first base line, foul. Brett Pill handles it in foul ground. Dodgers beat the Giants in that opening day game a long time ago. Seems like now, more than 5 months ago. 2-1. It was Kershaw over Lincecum in that opener. In the dirt with a slider. The count is 2-2. Lincecum gave up 1 unearned run in the game and lost it. It's one of those games where the Giants did not score while he was in the game. There have been a lot of those. Pill will take it himself. 2 down. Giants have been scoreless with Lincecum in the game 10 times this year. Out of his 29 starts before tonight. And they've had 2 runs or less in 18 of his 29 starts. So.
Well, it's no fun to pitch like that because you start thinking you have to be perfect. And it really shows up in your first pitch where you normally want to challenge that strike zone and get that quick strike one. And when you have no run support consistently, you feel like you have to be perfect. And you start to nibble. And what happens is you wind up being behind the count a lot. And if you give up a couple runs early, it's over. And it's just human nature.
James Loney, that's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's the one thing you really have to fight through it, and it's not easy.
Loney hitting 176 in his career against Lincecum. He flied out to shallow left in the first inning. Too low. 2-1. 2 down, nobody on, and Matt Kemp is having a great year on deck. Loney in the last 17 games before tonight hitting .426. That's a called strike. He was backing away from it, but that one had movement back to the plate.
Now you can freeze him on that 2-seam movement. If you started off the plate inside, let that movement come back across that inside corner, he'll lock up.
2-2. 2 down, nobody on. 1-0 Giants. Andre Ethier is hurting, and he may be out for the rest of the year, although he's still listed. Pill far to his right. Lincecum covered. The inning is over. 3 up, 3 down. Top of the order, Christian, Keppinger, Beltran.
$5 p.m. against the Rockies from Coors Field in Denver. And you can follow the action weeknights at 6 and 11 on NBC Bay Area News. Get inside access and better coverage of your favorite teams with the combined power of Comcast Sportsnet, the Bay Area's biggest and best sports reporting team, and it's right here on NBC Bay Area.
Strike one to Justin Christian, leading off for the Giants. Last of the third. Giants ahead 1-0. Christian scored the Giants' run of the first inning. He reached on a forced error charge to D. Gordon. The ball headed to the hole at short. Stole second and scored on a Pablo Sandoval single. 2-1 the count. Kershaw struck out the side in the second inning and has struck out 4 of the last 5 hitters that he has faced. Pop fly. And caught as Sellers was able to run it down. 1 away. Dwayne Kuiper over on the radio side over on KNBR, and he'll be moving down the hall into the TV booth come the next inning. Dave Fleming is, what do we say? On assignment.
On assignment.
We're not really allowed to reveal where Dave is right now. That's a foul out of play off the right field line.
But he will be back Sunday.
But if you said Bulgaria, I wouldn't be able to say necessarily that you're wrong. We don't know what Dave does in his downtime. We know he owns a big trench coat, and he has a lot of friends who, well, I just want to say, I don't know who they are, but they look like spies.
They're bilingual. They wear the collar up on their jackets.
Yeah. You know my friend Yuri along the right field line. If it's fair, it's trouble. It is just foul.
Ooh, that had classic Texas Leaguer written all over it.
And she's got a souvenir.
Oh, yeah. That's an excellent selection. Let's take a look at the chase as they try to converge on this. Foul by about 5 feet.
Keppinger with some shoelace issues. He hit a fly ball to left center his first time. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Beltran is on deck. Giants lead 1-0. Another ball that bounced in front of the plate.
Well, I think Barajas is actually used to it because Kershaw's got such big break on that curveball. And it's because of his high 3/4 delivery, it's almost a 12-6 break, off the table break. And when he misses with it, it's always going to be down below the zone. That's where you want him to miss, low.
Struck him out with the high fastball. That's number 5 for Kershaw. Padres scored a run in the 6th inning, meanwhile, in Arizona, and have a 2-0 lead. The former Giants minor leaguer Jesus Guzman, been the top RBI man for the Padres since the All-Star break, knocked in run number 2. So it's 2-0 back of Matt Latos going to the last of the 6th in the desert. Giants ahead here 1-0 as Beltran stands in, and a foul out of play off to the right. Beltran walked his first time. He's never had a hit against Kershaw. 0 for 7 lifetime. 1-0 Giants, 3rd inning. 2 down, bases empty. And a pop-up foul behind the plate.
Yeah, that's one of the few times we've seen Beltran reach. And that just gives you an idea as to how good that changeup has become for Kershaw. In Beltran's mind, out of the hand of Kershaw, he thought that was a fastball. And as hot as he's been, we have not seen him reach in a while.
And he chased it. Kershaw blows the Giants away for the 2nd inning in a row. 1-0 Giants. Dwayne Kuiper coming over.
Video using play, pause, fast forward, rewind, and look at him come back to a balance point before he starts home. The release point right out over balance point there, and now right over his foot. And again, you can look at Lincecum's balance point, and then he is again with his foot plants. That hand release and that snap is right out over the foot where it's supposed to be. Xfinity Game Vision is powered by Xfinity TV with on-demand. Catch complete replays of every Giants game all season long on Channel 1. As we said, 1-0 Giants, and here to tell you all about it, Dwayne Kuiper.
All right, Mike, is Kemp stands in. He's 0 for 1. And he shoots this one into left field, a base hit. So for the Dodgers, they pick up their first hit.
Well, and when Kemp gets on first base, it's an automatic base steal threat.
So here's Juan Rivera. So here's Rivera. And Rivera loops one down the left field line, and that's going to be a base hit. With Kemp's speed, he's going to move on over to third as Ross's throw goes to second. So a solid single by Kemp and then a looper by Juan Rivera, and all of a sudden now Lincecum is in trouble. And Lincecum got in on Rivera. He breaks his bat, but just strong enough to get it over Sandoval and put it in a perfect spot. I mean, if he hits that ball good, then he's probably got a double. And with this guy's speed, and Kemp read it all the way, he's going to get to third easily. So now Lincecum will face Miles, and at this point what you try to do is you try to limit the damage. And the pitch to Miles, and he pops the first pitch up foul down the left field line and out of play. Miles, in his only other at bat, hit a line drive up the middle that Cabrera made a very nice play on, moving to his left. So Miles, an RBI opportunity here in the fourth inning with the Giants on top, 1-0. Miles pops it up. It'll be Keppinger who puts it away, and he rifles it immediately, and Lincecum cuts it off. So if you're Tim Lincecum, you're looking at that as good as a strikeout, maybe even better, because it didn't take as many pitches. Watch Kemp. If he sees that Keppinger is going to stumble or take his time at all, he's got a chance of going. Maybe with one out, you have a little better chance of going, but with nobody out, you hold, because now you still have an opportunity to score on a fly ball. There's a strike to Jerry Sands. Now Jerry Sands knows that if Lincecum were ever going to go for the strikeout, it would be right here. Oh, 2. He throws a fastball right down around the knees, and Lincecum has Sands in the hole, 0-2. And now if you're Lincecum, you don't have to throw him a strike. And he just went to the top of the belt, and it's 1-2. On deck is Rod Barajas. Kemp at third. Rivera at first. And now Sands asks for time. Lincecum at the belt. Here's the pitch. Got him. Right at the belt. Only the second strikeout for Lincecum, but one that he needed. And take a look at the location. Probably not exactly what you wanted to throw, a hanger, but Sands goes, oh, I think he's reacting more to, why didn't I swing at that? So here's Barajas, who popped out to Brett Pill in the second inning. First pitch is wide. You can hear in the background the Beat LA chant. The Friday night crowds here at AT&T Park are without a doubt the best crowds. So Lincecum, and out away from getting out of this mess, is Barajas takes inside, and it's 2-0. First and third, nobody out. He gets Miles to pop out to second, and he gets Sands looking.
This is where Barajas is dangerous, when he's ahead in the count.
And Lincecum knew it, and he did not challenge him. It's 2-1. Upton has just hit his 30th home run in Arizona. Padres, however, still leading. Out of play. 2-2.
Killer instinct is something he's always had. He's always excelled in. And he's one of the most competitive players I've ever seen come across Mike Murphy's clubhouse. And right now, this is a competitive pitch.
That'll be foul down the left field line. I mean, that's the deal with Barajas. I mean, at any given time, he can lay one into the bleachers. He's done it 15 times this year. Even though he's hitting 236, it's such a dangerous 236.
Now here you have to remind yourself you've got an open base. A 3-2 count in your mind is a 1-2 pitch. If you walk him, so what? You just don't want to lay something out there to challenge him. You don't have to with an open bag, not to a guy with power.
Runner goes. Hit on the ground. Foul. Very close.
It was a slider and it was up. How foul was it? 3 feet. In a game of inches, 3 feet's a mile.
Yep. 3-2. Hit foul again. This will be the 9th pitch in this at bat. 61 now for Lincecum total.
It's about where you want to be at the end of the 4th inning.
Got him. 93 at the knees, and Lincecum gets out of the mess. 1-0 Giants.
It's amazing. Out pregame live and postgame live before and after every Giants telecast on Comcast Sportsnet, authentic Bay Area sports.
I don't know. I want to get that.
Yep.
See, 2 margaritas. Is that what I'm looking at?
Yep.
Sandoval on the first pitch pops it up. It'll be Miles behind second base, and Miles will put it away.
Good save, by the way.
Sandoval, by the way, first pitch swinging, knocked in the only run in this game. This time, however, Kershaw said, I'm not going to allow you to see another one of those. Here's Brett Pill.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments he makes. Having never seen Kershaw in his first at bat, he struck out. And those are two rough ones to start it out with.
Well, now you adjust and take a little swing out. One and two. This is the home run off of Harang on Wednesday.
Yeah, a tough ballpark to hit home runs in. He gets a fastball up and he just goes right with it. First 2 days in the big leagues, home run, home run. Nobody has ever had home runs in their first 3 games.
Maybe today. Maybe a 2-2 pitch.
We got a man making a call. Come in, operator. Dialing long distance here.
On the ground to second. It's called getting jammed. 2 outs. Been there, done that.
That one hurt. The only 2 Giants with a home run in the first 2 games of their career, John Bowker did it in 2008 against the Cardinals in April, and then Brett Pill Tuesday and Wednesday in San Diego hit home runs in front of his family and friends. That's Giants history. Our old pal Joe LaFay, who's now helping out with a hitting instructing here, did it with the Yankees back in 1980. One of the really knowledgeable guys I've ever been around about hitting. Joe LaFay, good baseball man. And he could hit.
Cody Ross, high drive, left field. It is foul.
Wow.
And that smirk will tell you everything you need to know.
All right, how foul was it? About 8 feet. Had the distance though, felt good. That's a strike that felt good. It can happen.
Bowker, in the 3rd game that he played after the 2 home runs, went 2 for 4 with a triple. So he was pretty hot. Popped him up to left. Sands. And that'll end the inning. So a pop up, a ground ball, and a fly ball, and we will head to the 5th. Lincecum and Kershaw, and it's 1-0. What a shocker, huh?
Well, no.
Here's Sellers, who takes a strike.
Anytime Lincecum and Kershaw get hooked up in a battle, you figure it's going to be a game just like this one.
Oh, and 2 to Sellers, who put his charge into one in the second, and Cody Ross caught it on the warning track in left field.
That's going to slow his rhythm down. You know, when you have a fast rhythm, it's very difficult to slow it down. I mean, I've known guys who've actually gone out there and they've had a song in their head that they try and sing slower to time their body rhythm to the song. I played double-A ball with a guy that he would sing Happy Birthday in his mind and try to time his body's rhythm to the song. And that was the way he slowed himself down.
Look out. And that's going to, no pun intended, it's going to hurt Lincecum because that's the leadoff hitter with the pitcher coming up.
Well, he had a 0-2 as well. But don't forget the StubHub is where you'll find a great selection of seats and the freedom to choose where you want to sit. Visit StubHub to search for hard-to-get tickets to the weekend series. Well, to the Dodgers, for example, or maybe for, well, anybody. StubHub's the official fan-to-fan marketplace of the Giants. So go to StubHub and choose your seats today. September baseball, every fan counts.
Kershaw with a bunt. And it's going to be Stewart who will make the play. Yeah, it could be the Padres. Could be the Rockies the last 3 games of the year. Here's Gordon. Gordon is bounced out twice. Gordon takes low. Tying run at second base, and that's Justin Sellers. Swinging a drive to left, but it's right at Cody Ross. 2 down. Giants Baseball is brought to you by Dodge, never neutral. Can always tell who's directing our show. John Ward.
Well, he likes dogs. And he'll find some.
Here's James Loney. Loney on the ground. Lincecum, a late break covering first, but it didn't matter. And that'll end the inning. Orlando Cabrera will lead things off. California Honda dealers in the all-new 2012 Civic, loaded with technology, delivering up to 44 miles per gallon. For details, shop honda.com. Tigers win, Red Sox lose, Baltimore shuts out Toronto, and the Rangers thump the A's. Other scores in the American League: Cleveland beats the White Sox in Chicago, Seattle leading Kansas City, and the Yankees and Angels have a good one in Southern California. Here's Cabrera. We'll check out the National League after Cabrera's at bat. Cabrera struck out in the second. Behind Tim Flannery, Kershaw with 1 walk and 5 strikeouts. He's going to be good for a very long time.
No, he's still learning. I mean, it's scary, the numbers he's putting up right now. I mean, he's still got a long ways to go.
2-1 to Orlando Cabrera.
When you consider how much more of a pitcher Tim Lincecum is now than when he first came up to the big leagues, always had great stuff. It's kind of the same path that Kershaw is going to take.
Towards the hole, Miles dives, he's got it, and then he dropped it getting out of his glove. He would have thrown him out, but Cabrera catches a break, and it should be a hit.
Well, it would have been a nice play. Miles going to his left well, spears it, completely lays out, gets up quickly, and just the exchange defeats him. There you see him bobble it, and he couldn't get a handle on it. So indeed it has been ruled a hit, rightfully so.
And that's the second hit for the Giants, and here's Stewart. And now Stewart asks for time. I'm not sure I've ever seen a pitcher, when he goes into the stretch, go as high as Kershaw does. You and John probably talked about it, but it's just unusual looking.
It's kind of like, you know, hitters. Remember Craig Counsell used to do that at the plate. He used to go way up high with the bat, almost looked like he was hanging from a rope. Just a way to relax your shoulders. A little bit of a timing mechanism.
At the knees, and that evens. Check that, it's now 0-2, so a couple of quick strikes to Stewart.
There are no two motions alike. There are no two hitting styles alike. Just one thing is similar, though, for pitchers and hitters, is when that front foot goes down, your hands have to be in a good position.
Blocked by Barajas, 1-2.
So what you start with really doesn't mean a whole lot, other than it makes you comfortable and it gives you a good look at the ball if you're a hitter. And for a pitcher, it gives you a way to get momentum into a pitch. And as you gather momentum, you have to find a way to balance yourself as you plant that front foot to make your catapult, to make your throw, to be able to control your pitch. But very similar mechanics involved for hitters and pitchers.
And they've got Cabrera picked off, and Loney's throw got him. Loney really took his time, and then his throw was offline.
I was talking about a guy being the whole package, and that was simply a matter of Cabrera going to go on first movement. And he guessed wrong.
One and two to Stewart. Lincecum on deck. So Stewart, after falling behind 0-2, now works it to 3-2.
He's feisty. He'll grind you.
hit on the ground, foul.
A ball dude's played before. John Pauly. Oh yeah, that's an old player. He might still be playing.
Chop to Miles, and Miles throws out Stewart. In the National League, see the Marlins all over the Pirates. Look at Morrison, 4 for 6. Mets beat the Cubs. The Nationals over Houston. Philadelphia in a big series against Milwaukee. They beat the Brewers. St. Louis and Atlanta in extra innings. The Diamondbacks and Padres, we're keeping an eye on that one, in Cincinnati leading the Rockies. Lincecum takes a strike. Swing and a miss, 0-2. About an easy 95 as you're going to see.
Well, again, he's 23 years old. It's conceivable to think he may pick up some more velocity.
And Lincecum strikes out. 6 strikeouts for Kershaw. 6th inning coming up. Against the Rockies, and it's in Denver. And follow the action weeknights at 6 and 11 on NBC Bay Area News. Get inside access and better coverage of your favorite teams when the combined power of Comcast Sportsnet, the Bay Area's biggest and best sports reporting team, is on NBC Bay Area. Kemp takes high. 1 ball and no strikes.
Aloha.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Our friends from Hawaii. One and 2. Kemp against Lincecum in 28 at bats has struck out 11 times.
And a lot of it has been the pitch you just saw, the curveball.
Out of play.
Getting a little lazy there. They wanted to go right up above the hands, inside corner. They got out over the plate. And for a guy like Kemp, who really doesn't have to make an adjustment with 2 strikes, I mean, he still has the same swing, 0-2 or 2-0. and he can beat you long. You have to think location with him.
Got him.
Like that.
Can't do it.
Now there's a guy thinking off-speed pitch, and he will guess slider, curveball, or split. He knows him on the outside corner fastball. Great pitch.
Giants Baseball is brought to you by Volvo, the best-in-class, safe and secure coverage plan. Pay nothing to repair or maintain your new Volvo for 5 years. Outside to Juan Rivera. High and wide, 2-0.
Let's wants to know that one was.
See, it's a 2-2 ball game. Parra knocked in a run with a triple, but then was thrown out at home trying to score on a sacrifice fly. And Lincecum again wants to know where that pitch is.
He should want to wonder. He's going, yo, you called that a strike about 3 times last inning.
Well, Stewart's barking at Hirschbeck right now.
You got to be careful with Hirschbeck. He's got a short fuse. Lincecum, I mean, he never asks. And you know it's got to be clear in his mind that it was a missed call for him to say anything.
Sandoval gets it, and Sandoval throws it.
Nice 3-1 pitch.
So he comes back after falling behind.
3-1 slider, and it was beautiful. There's some lightning around the Bay Area, and we're seeing it. You're hearing some fans react to it. We're seeing it over the Oakland Hills out towards Mount Diablo.
There's a strike to Miles.
A few minutes ago, this is what they saw. Fans reacted to it.
Swing. You're going to miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. That wouldn't be that big a deal now in the Midwest.
That's a big deal here.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
It's like a 4.2 earthquake here. Not a big deal. Midwest, front page news.
Absolutely.
As we found out in St. Louis.
Well, 4 in the morning. We're all thinking, nah.
Not in St. Louis.
No. 1-2 to Miles. And Lincecum slips. So he will regroup. Just be happy you didn't do that in the 4th with a guy on 3rd.
Yeah, and that's a smart thing here by not throwing a pitch.
You also can tweak your knee that way. Miles lines it to left. It'll be a 2-out hit. Biggest out in the game. One of the big outs came with Sands at the plate and the tying run at 3rd, and Lincecum struck him out with a hanging slider. Another one of those young hitters that have come out of the PCL with extraordinary numbers. Off the plate, 1-0. Miles, 4 steals. He's been thrown out twice. And Sands takes a strike.
Changeup. Beautiful thing about a changeup is you don't have to have great location with it. If your arm action sells it like a fastball, a lot of guys will freeze on it.
Swing and a miss, 1-2. And a quick toss, and back is Miles.
Let's watch the lead. The secondary lead for Miles is a big one. And that little extra hop is what Stewart saw, reacting to it. And with his cannon, he calls an arm. Why not?
93 on the fastball. It's 2-2. Hit down the right field line, but that'll be a souvenir.
See the pitches for Lincecum. 5 in the first inning. That's how you open it up. And then a 24-pitch second inning. And after that, things have calmed down a little bit. Next pitch will be number 90.
Beltran moving over towards the sidewall. He will reach in. He will make the catch, and that'll end the inning. And then he'll take inventory. He never took his eye off the ball, and that's a nice play.
And they're in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. A couple night games Monday and Tuesday, a day game on Wednesday. And you can get dynamic deals for each game starting as low as $8. Go to sfgiants.com/dynamic deals.
Top of the order for the Giants, Justin Christian. As he takes high, he scored the only run. He reached on an error and scored on a Sandoval single in the first. It's that inside corner to even the count.
He'll use that side of the plate a lot. He's got a little natural cut with that fastball. Doesn't too seem very often to where it runs away from righties. Too much success on that inside part of the plate, and he has no problem getting it there.
Christian pops it up, and it's Miles who puts it away.
Let's take a look at the play that ended it for the Dodgers in the 6th inning. Carlos Beltran coming over, and the one thing he has to say on a play like this is thank you for the padding.
That's right.
And it really saved him. He took it right in the ribs as he hit that wall. And watch Lincecum's reaction.
It's my man.
Yeah.
I loved you with the Mets. I love you better now.
Amen. Always looks better when he's wearing your uniform.
Here's Keppinger. Strike to Keppinger, who's flied out. He's popped out. There's that pitch that Mike was talking about as it hits that inside corner, and it's 0-2. John Miller will be back for, well, he'll take you the rest of the way. here on the NBC Bay Area side. I'll head back to the KNBR side as Keppinger out swinging for the second time. And here's Beltran.
7th strikeout on the night for Kershaw, and boy, that's why guys like to try and beat him early, especially when he locks into a rhythm. That big curveball, when he's ahead of you, or on top of you, I should say, 0-2. I mean, that's a tough assignment. It's just so big.
Beltran has walked, and he struck out. Pops it up, right field. It'll be Rivera, and that'll end the inning. John Miller will be in here at AT&T Park through 6, 1-0 Giants.
Well, Comcast Sportsnet has complete Giants coverage on Sportsnet Central every night at 10:30. Comcast Sportsnet, authentic Bay Area sports. We are heading into the 7th inning. It is a 1-0 Giants lead, and here again is John Miller.
All right, Mike, and Tim Lincecum has been outstanding, and he's tying those long shoelaces, which he's done 2 or 3 times tonight. All seems to be as it should be now, and Lincecum goes back to work with Rod Barajas, the 7th place hitter, to lead off. He's allowed 3 hits and no runs. 1 ball, no strikes. Barajas has popped up to first and struck out. That is in for a strike.
His specialty pitches have really tuned up a notch here in the last couple innings. Once he slowed his rhythm down, he really got command of everything.
That'll go out of play off the first base side. 1-2 the count. Still 2-2 in Arizona. Last of the 8th inning, Chad Qualls on in relief of Matt Latos for the Padres there. Barajas backs away. Sellers, the rookie, is on deck, and Kershaw due up third. Nobody is throwing in the LA bullpen. Struck him out, a changeup in the dirt, and Stewart throws him out. 5th strikeout for Lincecum.
Giants baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota is the most fuel efficient full line auto manufacturer, period.
Now Justin Sellers will come up. 1 run, 2 hits for the Giants, and the Giants run against Kershaw an unearned run. The Giants were able to turn an error, a steal, and a base hit by Pablo Sandoval into the first run of the game, and still the only run of the game. as we play the 7th inning. And the slider down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. A couple of ball games with pennant race implications, and it's 1-1 now to Sellers. The St. Louis Cardinals were trailing Atlanta. The Cardinals are a real long shot as it is, but a chance to gain ground on the Brewers, who lost again to the Phillies tonight. The Cardinals were down by 2 in the 9th inning. They tied it against Craig Kimbrell of the Braves and won it in the 10th. Not many blown saves this year for Craig Kimbrell, who's a strong Rookie of the Year candidate. The Cardinals, even with that, are still 7 games out in the Central. Center field. Christian. He's got it.
That's a play. That is robbery, and he's taking inventory right now. He jarred himself. He really had to extend in order to get this thing, and he knew he was going to take a hit on his chest. But I thought off the crack of the bat, that's a base hit. Oh, what a beautiful play. And he had to have a good jump. Races himself with his right arm. Takes the hit. Again, good defense. And Tim Lincecum digging it.
Christian injured himself severely back in 2009, making a dive in the outfield. And he had to have surgery for a torn labrum. The capsule needed to be repaired. Just about anything that could have gone wrong went wrong when he made the play. And James Andrews, Dr. Andrews, performed the surgery, and he says he's back to 99% in terms of his ability to throw the ball of where he had been before.
Well, a similar type injury to Freddie Sanchez cost him the year. When you go down and you dive that way, I mean, your body has to be stopped, and if it's your arm that takes the heat when you hit the ground, I mean, a lot of times you're exposed to injury.
Kershaw is trying to shake off the pain of that one, that foul ball off the foot or the ankle. Justin Christian. It took him a long time to get here to this game tonight.
Well, he made a nice play there. You know, and it's not like diving on your belly on a base steal attempt.
That will go out of play. Sandoval gives chase, but it's back into the crowd. 1-2 the count.
When you dive on the base pass, you're supporting your fall with both arms. When you dive making a play, you're supporting yourself with one arm. You're trying to catch the ball with the other one, and that's why guys are susceptible to injury.
Two and two to Kershaw.
Watch the right arm here. This is the support arm. And as you get hyperextended there, that's where you can tear your labrum.
Going back Beltran into Death Valley. Plenty of room out there. 3 up, 3 down, 7 shutout innings in the books for Lincecum. Pablo coming up.
hit of the game brought to you by Volkswagen Going, Gone event. First inning, Pablo Sandoval comes up, runs the first and second, one out, and does this. And challenges Jerry Sands, who cannot come up with a throw. An easy score for Justin Christian. And that is again brought to you by Volkswagen Going, Gone event. Great deals are here, but not for long. Visit VWDealer.com. Always exciting around here when Panda comes up with a big hit. The Panda people go crazy.
Hey, it's not like there's a whole bunch of them.
They're all over. They are everywhere.
But there's 42,000 here tonight. How many are wearing Panda hats? 25,000?
Yeah, at least.
Arizona has just gone ahead of San Diego against the reliever, Chad Qualls. They've forged a run on an RBI single by Lyle Overbay. It was an acquisition for the stretch run. Pablo Sandoval leads off against Kershaw. In the dirt. Since Pablo's RBI hit in the first inning with one out, the Giants have had only one other hit, and that was an infield hit by Orlando Cabrera in the fifth inning. They've only had one other base runner since the first inning. There's Sellers at second. Out number one. Giants have only two hits in the game and one unearned run against Kershaw. Roy Halladay got a win tonight in Milwaukee. Halladay and the Phillies cooled off the Brewers. They've won two straight in Milwaukee. Little postseason preview there. Halladay got the best of Sean Markham. Halladay is now 17-5, same as Kershaw. Brett Pill and that off-speed delivery, foul ball, 0-1. Ryan Howard hit a home run for the Phillies, number 32 for him. Brett Pill has struck out and grounded out to second. And it's 0-2.
So fastball, curveball, now the slider. Lots of things to think out. Lots of things to add to your database when you're facing a guy for the first time, especially a guy who's got quality stuff like Kershaw. And what's that? Elevator fastball.
Too high. 1-2.
Easy take.
Well, Pill probably didn't face too many guys who could do all the stuff that Kershaw could do while he was at Fresno. If they could do what Kershaw does, they'd be up here. Curveball. And it was just out of the glove of Barajas. You see the plate umpire Hirschbeck pointed over to Scott Barry, the first base umpire, just to make sure that the ball was not caught by Barajas. So by the barest of all possible margins, Pill is still alive. 1-2. And another foul tip. Still alive again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Clayton Kershaw. 8 strikeouts in the game so far for him. The curve, and that is a foul and out of play.
Well, if you're going to be a big league hitter and you're going to hit for average up here, you've got to have a good emergency swing. And that last one was world class. It's important.
And he just barely got a piece of that fastball. Well, he's seen just about everything that Kershaw has to offer in this trip to the plate.
Yeah, he's definitely seen the kitchen sink.
Brett Pill, who's not a raw rookie, he's 27 years old. He's been around for a while to get to this point of his career. 2-2. In fact, we know he's 27 because he was born 27 years ago today.
Happy birthday.
I wonder what he wants for his birthday.
He wants a home run.
Nobody's ever hit, as far as we know, nobody's ever hit home runs in their first 3 games in the big leagues. And he comes back after a couple of 95-mile-an-hour heaters, strikes him out with a breaking ball, and that is number 9 for the National League strikeout leader, Clayton Kershaw.
Let's take a look at the strikeout pitch. Goes down below the strike zone. Curveball, and everything in that at bat was quality from Kershaw. The veteran Kershaw at age 23 taking on the 27-year-old Rook.
Got the low strike on the outside to Cody Ross. Ross came very close to a home run back in the 4th inning that went foul. Eventually hit one to the edge of the warning track where it was caught in left. And a foul out of play. But he gets pretty good swings off against Kershaw.
Yeah, he definitely has his balance back. And he knows it too.
He also got robbed of an RBI back in the very first inning, the play of the night for the Dodgers. D. Gordon with a leaping catch on a bloop into shallow left that had he not caught it, a run would have scored. It was the final out of the inning. Giants ahead 1-0.
Now, Cody Ross had that habit of getting up, and then if there was a fastball going on the inside corner, he would jump away. And he'd do it to try to influence an umpire. It was kind of a deke. And Bruce Bochy says you need to quit doing that.
He hit that curveball out behind the mound, and Sellers takes it. 3 up, 3 down. We're going to the 8th inning, top of the order. Gordon Loney and Matt Kemp. Tim Lincecum to lead off man D. Gordon, who bunts it into the glove of Pablo Sandoval, who caught it with a little hop over the foul line in foul ground, 1 away.
Such a gift, a 1 pitch out here deep in the ball game. That was pitch number 106. See, he was going to challenge even with Pablo Sandoval pulled in. High fastball, pops it up. Thank you very nice. Grab some time.
Plate umpire John Hirschbeck signaling that it was caught on the foul side of the line by Pablo. So 1 out. Here's James Loney, who has flied out to shallow left, grounded out to first twice. So he's 0 for 3. Matt Kemp, the big slugger, on deck. Back out of play. Pretty good rip there by James Loney, who's been a hot hitter. 362, in fact, is his batting average since the 1st of August. He had a miserable first half of the year. Backdoor, strike 2 call.
What a perfect location with that slider. And he's used that well tonight. That slider's been a good pitch for him. Been able to consistently go to both sides of the plate and paint.
Pop up, shallow left, Cody Ross. 2 down.
Giants Baseball is brought to you by Ford, the right choice for California. See your California Ford dealer or visit yourcaliforniaford.com today.
So 2 down, nobody on, but a one-man rally is coming up. The Dodgers Triple Crown candidate, as well as MVP candidate, Matt Kemp, 3rd in the league in batting average, tied for 3rd in home runs, 3rd in the league in RBIs. Tonight he has flied out to right, singled to left, and been called out on strikes. Slider at the knees, strike 1, and Kemp shot a quick grimace as he looked back at Hirschback.
Slider really has come alive.
Fastball on the inside corner. Strike 2 call.
Kemp's putting away on right now. He didn't like the outside corner with the slider. He didn't like the inside corner with the fastball. He's thinking that's a lot of plate. I'll give you 1, but I don't want to lose 2. We talked about Hirschbeck's wide zone. And to me, those are perfect pitches.
Kemp taking his time before going back in there.
And you could go right back inside again. They're going outside with the slider.
1 and 2.
And maybe it's that inside fastball that they want to throw after they went outside with the slider. But that's the thing about Lincecum. He's got 4 ways he can get you.
With a 1-0 lead, 2 down, nobody on. That is rolling fair. He hit it out of the dirt. It's a fair ball. Base hit. The ball made it maybe, what, 35, 40 feet from home plate.
Now, a 1-2 count, a very good changeup. And, you know, when you're having the kind of year he's having, you get hits like this. Changeup, and it looked like it bounced. And he pinches it right there on the ground, and look at this. Well, for Matt Kemp, that's a thing of beauty. They had no chance to pick it up and attempt to throw. It was going to be fair or foul on the roll.
Kemp is also a great threat to try and steal. He has 37 steals. Rivera, ball 1. Kemp tied for 2nd in the league in stolen bases. Michael Bourne of Atlanta leading the league in that category. Final from Arizona, the D-backs coming from behind in the late innings, and they win again. 3-2 over the Padres. In the dirt with pickoff throw there.
Careful.
Brett Pill with a nice save as Javier Lopez, the left-hander, Santiago Casilla, the right-hander, are up in the Giants bullpen. A really bizarre hit by Matt Kemp to keep this inning going. Lincecum has to go after this hitter, but be wary of Kemp. And he's behind 2-0. You can feel the tension in the crowd as well. 1-0 Giants, 8th inning. The possible tying run now aboard. There goes Kemp. Stewart. High. Safe. Just high enough that Kemp was able to slide in under the tag.
Set up in the inside corner. Not a really great pitch to throw on. And that was close. I thought they had a chance to get him even with the high throw. And I think he may have gotten him by a couple of inches. Certainly not anything you get on an umpire about for calling that one safe.
Meanwhile, 3-0 to Rivera. And he was going after it. Slider on a 3-0 pitch, and it's 3-1. On deck, Aaron Miles, a very dangerous hitter who is able to put the ball in play. Dodgers 0 for 7 as a team tonight with runners in scoring position in these kinds of at-bats. And Lincecum can't get it, and that is likely to tie the game, although Kemp takes a big turnaround third. Nonetheless, the throw cut off, He scores. It is tied. Almost an illustration of Lincecum's season. These last two batters.
Unbelievable. A 1-2 count to Kemp, swing and bunt, and here a ball that just goes right by him. And his follow through is always going to be violent towards the first base line. He has no ability to catch a ball to his right. And Rivera just taking swing out 3-1, not getting greedy, going back up the middle and coming up through big. New ball game.
Kemp stumbled a little bit coming around third and really cut the bag very wide, but it did not matter. Tony Gwynn Jr. now, the pinch runner for the slow-footed Rivera at first. Well, Matt Kemp, who appeared as though he would have been struck out chasing a slider that was about to bounce in front of home plate. And he hit it, and it just rolled ever so slowly up the third base line, and he got a hit on it. Stole second, and now has scored the tying run. So it goes for Lincecum. Lincecum is, it's not just a margin for error, it's a margin for freakish kind of bizarre things that you never see. And those things happen, and the win is no longer. There's a pitch out, but Gwynn was not running.
Well, they always say the best time to go is right after a pitch out. You will see on occasion Bruce Bochy back it up and go pitch out, but not very often. Like once every couple seasons.
There he goes. And a foul by Aaron Miles. A ball and 2 strikes. 1-1 in the 8th inning. Giants offense has managed only a run and 2 hits so far against Clayton Kershaw. Of course, the Giants are just one of a whole league full of teams that have had games like that against Kershaw. 1-2 the count. Gwynn was running on the previous pitch. There he is not going. Shallow left. Cody Ross. No. Gwynn stopping at second.
Unbelievable what's happening here to Lincecum. There isn't anything anybody could do on this thing. And he's jogging, means he's staying in the game.
Jerry Sands, the rookie, coming up. The Dodgers, a hot ball club the last 2.5 weeks, where a lot of things have been going right. They played well. They've gotten a few breaks. Bochy, after a few words, heads back. Garcia, the right-hander. Javier Lopez, the left-hander, up in the bullpen. Let's give it 122 pitches. The one that really hurt was what, about the 7th pitch of this inning, the 112th pitch of the night that Matt Kemp somehow got the bat on as it was about to bounce in front of home plate. And he got a base hit on it. 2 on, 2 out. Here's Sands. Ball 1. Good changeup. 1-1.
Not going to give in to a fastball count to a fastball hitter. Not a youngster out of the minor leagues.
Sands, 23 years old, has walked, struck out, and he's the one who fouled out to Beltran, who made the great catch going into the stands to take one away. Gwynn moves back to second. Gwynn has 21 steals, second on the Dodgers in that category. He's at second. Miles is at first. Two and 1.
Back again, another off-speed pitch. The highest pitch count that he has had this year is against the A's, 133 pitches.
This will be his 126th. The high fastball back to the screen. Lincecum due up third in the last half of this inning. Giants will be at the bottom of their batting order. Crowd trying to rally to the support of Tim Lincecum. 2 on, 2 out. Struck him out. But the Dodgers scratch out a run to tie it. And the new hand-breaded chicken fillet sandwich. Now at Carl's Jr. And that's just the way it is. The Dodgers 1 run, 6 hits and 1 error. The Giants 1 run, 2 hits and no errors. Tim Lincecum 8 innings, 6 strikeouts, just the 1 run allowed. Clayton Kershaw 7 innings, 1 run, 2 hits allowed, and he has 9 strikeouts. He's back now for the 8th. And here is Orlando Cabrera, who got one of those 2 hits, an infield hit in the 5th. The new left fielder, Tony Gwynn Jr., 1 away. Jerry Sands moving from left field over to right field as we move to the last of the 8th. Gwynn was a runner for Rivera in the first half of the inning. There's Sands now in right. So Chris Stewart will come up. And Mark DeRosa with a bat in hand and a helmet is out into the on-deck circle with Lincecum due up next. There's a bunt. Kershaw with the slide, juggles it. Safe! Kershaw is just furious. And I don't know if he's upset with himself or the umpire, but it looks to me like the way he looked at his glove, he's just furious with himself for not making that play.
Yeah, I don't think the call was blown by Scott Berry at first base. I just think he's mad at himself for not coming up with it cleanly. I mean, what an effort coming in here, sliding into the play, sets up on his back foot. He just can't get a grip. But clearly Stewart beats the play. So the play called correctly. And, you know, one thing about Stewart, he might be the best drag bunter of the Giants team. Not happy.
I'm so upset. Well, it would have been a great play if he had not juggled it.
Well, he reacts the same way if the garbage guy doesn't take his trash cans on Thursday.
If you're going to be his garbage man, get it done.
Get it done.
Here's Mark DeRosa. Pinch hitting for Lincecum. 1-1 the score. TORRES has been a hot hitter lately, especially coming off the bench as a pinch hitter. But I think the main thing is he's just been squaring the ball up with great frequency. 6 hits his last 12 at bats.
Still looking for his first home run of the year.
Miles hugs the line at third in the no doubles defense. The first baseman Loney on the bag with Stewart as KERSHAW.
You know, and DeRosa, he's pretty straightaway set here to defend DeRosa, and he says, you know, he doesn't have the same type of bat head speed that he had when his wrist was healthy. So he's a different hitter now, which explains why he doesn't have the home run totals. But still, a guy like KERSHAW is going to supply a lot of power, and if you could square up a 95er, even with a wrist that isn't 100%, he can still knock it out of here.
Foul ball. A ball and a strike to Mark DeRosa. Justin Christian, the leadoff man, on deck. That was the 100th pitch of the night thrown by KERSHAW.
Yeah, the 6th inning really helped him when he only had to throw 7 pitches.
He's had a real economy of pitches since throwing 25 in the very first inning, the inning in which the Giants scored. In foul ground, Miles out number 2. There had not been a whole lot of solid contact for the Giants against Clayton KERSHAW. But not Justin Christian, who has scored the Giants' only run. He reached an error. His speed forcing a hurried throw by D. Gordon, who pulled Loney off the bag at first. Chris Stewart, meanwhile, it looks like he's limping over at first base. He's just off the bag, trying to shake it off. Reaching down on his right foot. He's having some problems with his right foot. He's hurt. Or hurting.
Yeah, but catchers, you can't really tell. Yeah, you're right.
Here comes Dave Greshner. You saw Roberto Kelly signal into the dugout. He says, maybe we better have somebody come and have a look at it. Dave Greshner, the head Giants trainer, out. See if he can help.
I got to tell you what, if Chris Stewart's going to leave the game because of something that is injury related, it's got to be a compound fracture. Now, this is when he went into first base, beating out the bunt. But there's no grimace there. Now as he comes back in, he's taking a look at it going, something's not right. And he's done.
Darren Ford's going to go in and run for him.
Well, that changes everything.
So Ford, who got thrown out trying to steal twice in the series in San Diego, is a possible go-ahead run, but 2 down. And a steal would certainly be the play right here with 2 down already.
Well, and even if he's not successful, then you can lead off with Christian in the 9th inning. So I would have to bet big money that he's stealing. And he likes to go early.
Bluffs him back. Gave him a lot of head fakes there. Must have sat down with Elgin Baylor.
The old head fake.
Base stealers have been successful 11 of 16 times. He's had 5 pickoffs, including 1 tonight. Ford is back in standing.
If you can guess right and you're sure he's going to go home, I mean, he takes a while to get rid of the ball. It's just guessing right. That's the trick.
Christian stole second in the first inning against Kershaw and Barajas. It's 0-1 to Christian.
Christian taking all the way to give him a shot to try and steal. You hate to take 2 strikes in an at-bat waiting for a guy to steal. You do not want to get an 0-2 hole, even with 102 pitches thrown by Kershaw. That's not a comfortable at-bat. He'll throw to first.
He stepped off the slab and snapped it over there. He's given him a lot of different looks here. Here's Kershaw. Big holes open on either side of the infield with the Dodgers hugging the line at the corners. Loney on the bag with the runner, and Miles hugging the line at third, protecting against a possible extra base hit. Ford, when everybody in the ballpark knows that he wants to steal second, can he get the jump and actually do it? There he goes. Barajas with the throw. Not nearly in time.
No contest. However, Christian now in an 0-2 hole. Explosive first couple of steps, belly slide, steals it easy. Well, that's the dynamic of Darren Ford. And the book on Christian is he does make good 2-strike adjustments. He's not an easy guy to strike out. And he's going to get tested right now, 0-2.
It's 3:38 at Fresno. Giants AAA club in the dirt, blocked by Barajas. Ford holding at second. This is the first time the Giants have had a runner as far as second base since the first inning. Pablo Sandoval knocked in Christian after he stole in the very first inning. And now Christian is trying to do the same with Darren Ford at second. The opportunities have been few and far between, to say the least, for the Giants. Curveball. He bounced that one in.
I don't think Barajas knew how he got that ball. That ball kind of found him. Watch how far out in front home plate this ball bounces. I mean, that's just a happy birthday right there.
Barajas looking cool. Yeah, that's how I do it. I knew I'd catch that one. No problem. 2-2. Just got a piece of it. A slider boring in. 2-2. Barajas is going to go talk to Clayton Kershaw.
You know, the message here is, hey, don't be afraid to throw that thing in the dirt. I'll block it. Don't worry about it. Make sure you finish that thing. I think he was upset that he had a 2-2 count. He threw that breaking ball and it didn't get in the dirt. And sometimes guys who have big curveballs, they need to be told that, because if they think they're putting their catcher at a disadvantage, thinking he may not block that thing, they won't finish off that breaking ball. They won't bury it in the dirt.
For Kershaw to try it again. Justin Christian out of the Giants minor league system. The pitch. Tried to get a Matt Kemp kind of a hit. And got a piece of it.
There was that breaking ball in the dirt, and he did well to catch a piece of that one because it was below the strike zone.
It looked like it was about to hit the dirt. 2-2. Ford, the possible go-ahead run at second. Had a good swing of that high, hard one.
That is such a hard pitch to defend after you've just been fighting stuff off down below your ankles. He comes at 95 above the hands. I mean, that is such a tough pitch to defend. And Christian with a good job of fighting that thing off.
This will be the 8th pitch of this battle. Kershaw to Christian with Ford at second in a 1-1 game. 2 down. And we got another high fastball. Foul out of play off to the right. 109 pitches for the game for Kershaw, working in the last of the 8th inning. Keppinger out on deck, would be next. 2-2 the count. Checks forward. The curveball, squibbed foul.
That was a pretty good pitch to hit right there. That was a hanger. He hadn't made many mistakes, and that was one of them. He got away with it. But after seeing 94, 95 on your hands, easy to understand why Christian was out front just a little bit.
Dodgers are going to get some action going in their bullpen for the first time. 2-2. The battle goes on. Struck him out. Tagged out. Ball pulled out of the dirt by Barajas. 10 strikeouts for Kershaw. Fans.
How could you tell? You could just tell, can't you?
Well, they spent a lot of time coming up with that, didn't they?
Very creative. Santiago Casilla, the new pitcher now for Bruce Bochy. 41st time he's come in. 2-1 record, 1.28 ERA, 35 strikeouts, and 42 in the third. 2 types of fastball, 2-seam, 4-seam. He'll go low to mid 90s with velocity. A curveball and a slider.
By the way, Clayton Kershaw, 9 strikeouts. I was giving him credit for a strikeout he didn't get earlier in the game. Santiago Casilla, who was going along very nicely in San Diego Tuesday night, and suddenly with 2 down he hung a curveball and got hit off the wall by the rookie Rizzo, and he just kind of seemed to lose it after that. Hit a couple of batters and they took him out finally. That's a base hit for Rod Barajas on the first pitch here in the 9th. Javier Lopez, the left-hander, up in the bullpen. Eli Whiteside now catching for the Giants. And the Dodgers bring in a pinch runner at first base. And this is a former Giant, Eugenio Velez. And this would be a spot where the Dodgers might try and steal a bag. Velez has 1 steal in the big leagues this year for LA. Although he has not had a hit. He's 0 for 31 as a hitter. The bunt up the first base side. That'll move Velez up. Hill to Keppinger. The Sellers gets the bunt down. And the Dodgers have a runner in scoring position with 1 out, and they're going to pinch hit for Kershaw with Jamie Carroll. Tim Lincecum went 8 innings, allowed 1 run and 6 hits. And the run he allowed was an extraordinary run with 2 down and nobody on. Matt Kemp hit a pitch that was about to hit the dirt, and he rolled it into fair ground right along, literally right along the line, and it just died 40 feet from home plate or so. He stole second, and then Rivera hit just a bouncer right past Lincecum and through the middle for an RBI single, and that's how they tied the game. Only run that he allowed.
Well, he was fantastic tonight. You know, just some bad breaks allowed the Dodgers to score, as you pointed out. But it does not take away from the effort from Tim Lincecum. One of the most competitive people I've ever been around in my life.
Nobody covering at second, but back to the bag goes Velez. One ball, no strikes. And over to third goes Velez. Sharp breaking ball, and Whiteside was not able to handle it. And a wild pitch. Now there's a runner at third.
Now Whiteside's not going to be happy. Watch him reach across. He reaches across here. Can't get a whole lot of body in front of that breaking ball. When you reach across and you have that positioning with your hand and your glove, when the ball hits in front of it, it can carry him away, just like this. So now it becomes a strikeout situation for Casilla.
Whiteside out to talk to him. The leadoff man, D. Gordon, on deck. The Giants will have to bring the infield in here in a 1-1 game. Former teammates Velez and Sandoval talking over at third. Jamie Carroll hitting .288 for the Dodgers. Although he has not been an RBI man, he's had 410 official at bats, and he's knocked in 12 runs. Hitting .189 with runners in scoring position for the year. Infield in all the way around. 1 out. And he moves Velez back to third.
It is a strikeout situation, and perhaps one of the most difficult Dodgers to strike outs in that batter's box. Jamie Carroll, I mean, he puts the ball in play. And the longer the at-bat goes, the more compact his swing becomes. And they will squeeze with him.
2-0 the count. Keppinger from his knee. Too late. Velez with great speed, and the Dodgers have gone ahead.
Not a whole lot that Keppinger could do. The play took him down to his knees on the backhand. Then from the knees, it goes the wrong side of the bag. Whiteside with a swipe tag, and Velez just does get to the bag before the tag. Called correctly by Hirschbeck. Very close play.
Velez popped up in his slide right into the face mask of Eli Whiteside. He may have gotten a bloody nose on that play. He scored, but it hurt.
Indeed, it is the face that takes the mask of Whiteside.
D. Gordon and Cody Ross in left. Number 2. So the go-ahead run scores on a fielder's choice. Carroll gets the RBI. Gordon is retired, and here's Loney. Loney 0 for 4. And Javi Guerra, who has been the Dodgers closer, getting ready. The Giants will have their big hitters up. Keppinger, Beltran, and Pablo Sandoval, the first 3 due in the last of the 9th. Strike 1 to Loney. A single, a sacrifice, and really the big play then, the wild pitch. That created the infield in scenario.
When you're playing a 1-1 ball game, every increment of 90 feet so important, and you hate to give them up. And it was costly.
0-2. Maloney is flied out to shallow left twice and grounded out to first twice. 0 for 4 in the game. Matt Kemp is on deck. He would be next. There goes Carroll. Christian in left center. But the Dodgers scratch out another run. Last chance for the Giants. Keppinger, Beltran, and Pablo coming up. Xfinity. Xfinity is TV, internet, and voice services that work together so you can enjoy everything you love anytime, anywhere, and any way you want. The look from the Lefty O'Doul Bridge over at AT&T Park. Beautiful downtown San Francisco. Giants waterfront ballpark. They are trailing the Dodgers, though. 2-1. And here is Javi Guerra. 2-0, and he's got 16 saves for the Dodgers.
Done a nice job since inheriting that role as the closer. 6 for 16 for 17. 34 strikeouts against 12 walks in 38 2/3. And the way he does it is with a fastball that go 93, 96, somewhere in there. He's got a real high three-quarter release. That gives him a 12-6 break of the curveball. Good slider changeup combination.
Plate umpire John Hirschbeck went out to say something to him. So apparently had something on his wrist. He wanted it removed. A.J. Ellis, the new catcher. Jamie Carroll stays in after pinch hitting for Kershaw to play second base. So Jeff Keppinger trying to get the Giants going here. He's 0 for 3. Beltran on deck. Sandoval due third. And that slider. Gordon, one away. Giants have only 3 hits in this game. 41,902, the official paid crowd. Giants are past 3 million already in their home attendance. Now 3,053,000 plus. 0-1 to Beltran, who has walked, struck out, and flied out to right center.
First pitch changeup. Beltran was not expecting that.
Followed by a curveball floated in there.
He's got the 4 pitches that you would normally see from a starter. And he was a starter the first 4 years of his minor league career. And he's not afraid to throw anything.
And now a fastball at 94. 1-2. He's from Texas, Denton, Texas. Many years in the Dodger farm system. They signed him all the way back in 2004. Fastball away. 2-2. A check swing by Beltran. Pablo Sandoval on deck. 1 out, nobody on in the 9th. The Giants are down 2-1. Jamie Carroll. And 2 down. And the Giants' final hope now is Pablo Sandoval. And this is, I guess, the ultimate irony. The only current member of the Giants who's ever had a hit against Javi Guerra, and they haven't seen him that much. The only Giant who's ever had a hit against him, and I guess you can't say he's currently on the roster, he's on the disabled list, is Buster Posey. So now Pablo looking for his first hit against Guerra, who is 1 for 3. Pablo knocked in the Giants' only run with a single back in the first inning. They have had no runs and only 2 hits since then. And their 2 hits since then were an infield single and a bunt single. Keeping the ball away, 2-0.
They're respectful of his power, dribbling that outside corner. Understandable. If you're in a ballpark like this, you don't want to give a guy something he can pull to hurt you. Make him go the other way, and that's what Guerra's doing. And the cutter, he sort of backdoored that outside part of the plate. You know, again, I mean, you're not used to seeing high strikes. Hirschbeck's one of the rare high strike umpires.
Infield, guarding the foul lines, are all spread out. And right to Loney. Guerra covering, and the Dodgers take game 1. And the Giants fall to 8.5 out of first. They are much closer to the Dodgers than they are to the Diamondbacks. The Dodgers are now just 3.5 back of the Giants. They continue to win. The 18th win of the year for Clayton Kershaw, with Guerra, that man in the middle, getting the save. The Dodgers over the Giants 2-1. And we're going to say good night to you from AT&T Park to all of our Giants network affiliates. But if you're watching on NBC Bay Area here at home, we will be back with more from AT&T Park. Kershaw getting the win, Casilla taking the loss, and that is the sad story for Giants fans.